Good afternoon. Welcome to Options Center. Welcome traders, and happy election day here in the United States. It is Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. And I wanted to do a quick video, should be less than 10 minutes, just to show you my point of view. I have started loading into puts. I can't trust that the market won't reverse tomorrow, but I do still have a feeling that it will gap up overnight and then perhaps still reverse on FOMC. I don't know that, but I want to show you what I'm looking at and why I can't trust that it won't just start tomorrow. Also, we're doing this intraday about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these intraday, then consider becoming a YouTube member supporter. It's 99 cents. All right, so let's jump into it. We have SPY in the daily time frame. This bearish rising wedge. We formed another wedge here. Broke down from the wedge, so we have our technical damage done. But we're getting we're getting to the point where we bounce from the 50. We're into the 8 EMA. I suspect we'll make it to the 20 looking at this chart, but we'll have to compare it to others, right? So it could wick off of this 8 EMA, but we don't have a reversal candle yet. So perhaps we get a reversal candle tomorrow or the next day. Okay, which means we could go higher and close the gap here. I suspect that, but I cannot, I won't do calls on the indices because of they are way overpriced. Right now, premium is up. People are betting big on the election and for prices to go up. So calls are just not worth it. After the events, then the volatility drops out of the calls. And so you lose premium on those, okay? So I am doing with individual calls, especially Tesla, to hedge my bets just in the real short term. But I started loading up all of my puts into the future. All right, swings. So we're looking for really about that 580 area, at 582 being the target, and then a continuation, a large move to the downside, and likely to test this this low here, this trend line. Qs. On the Qs, same thing. Had a bearish rising wedge with the lower high. Broke down. Now we're back testing. So you see we're right at the 20 moving average. So I suspect we could get one more move up and actually touch the wedge, close the gap, and continue to the downside. But at the same time, it could really, just like this wick moved up off of the 20, this one went through the 20 and ripped back up. Same thing on the downside. This could get through and break down, or it could break down from right here. So I can't trust on the long side anymore. Also, the the indicators, although the slow stow could oscillate to the downside, it's starting to get a cross up. So we'll see what happens there. I think this is going to be very bearish. I think we still have more room to go to the downside, even though we're getting a bounce here. We're already at the 50. When you're in a bear market, the 50 and 60 are kind of the levels that you reverse off of. And momentum, I suspect, will cross down. So we already had our bearish divergences. They haven't played out yet. IWM. This could be the canary in the coal mine. This could keep the market up while maybe the Qs break down. Maybe IWM breaks out from here and has a hefty move to the upside. Otherwise, it could just break down from this point. Okay, I don't have that information. I suspect it breaks down from here, but if it does break out, and we have very minimal place of downside on IWM, then I think that that could help lift SPY to those next targets at 580. And I'll show you those on a lower time frame. Just zipping through here. Again, broke down from the wedge. Back testing has plenty of room. If the Dow, which I suspect is a expanding flat, wants to go all the way up to the 20, back test here, and even the upper trend line there plenty of room to do that. So that could help lift the market as well. All right, so if you have IWM and DIA and maybe like a large cap stock like Tesla, while everything else is kind of moving down or still, this could lift the market, those couple of points that are needed. And here is another reason why I just can't trust that this move to the upside is over. We're getting into the 20 moving average on the VIX, okay? We're closing the gap right now. Yes, the 50 is underneath and also is great support. So if we see that breakdown going into tomorrow, then I think the market's going to go up that few points to the upside. I think it's 5 points or so, or 50 points on SPX and ES. All right, so let's go to the lower time frame. And again, this is really short. Let me just zip through. So on the 65, this is what I suspect a kind of a falling, expanding megaphone. It doesn't have to. We're rejecting off of the right now off of the gap. Suppose we gap up and go into FOMC. That's where we're heading. And that's where I suspect that price wants to go. And there's another reason. And even if this expanded flat or the wave 5, no matter what you want to call it, I see a structure right here as a 1-2. Now it looks like we're probably ending wave 3. So if something, whatever happens here, into a wave 4, gap up and go, I'll be ready for that. And the market's going to need something to move that up higher. So this is a traditional look to it. It's a formation, and we had much lower. And by much lower, I suspect we'll move down to about the 550 zone here. And that's just based off a conservative that we make it all the way up here to the 582.786 retracement, okay? If we don't make it that far and you see the target gets more bearish. So that's where my trades are coming from. If you remember, you get those individual trades, any type of member, YouTube member, Patreon member, you get all of you get those individual trades. QQQ. And see, we have plenty of room. We're clearly breaking down from the gap, but I do suspect still that these gaps will close. We have some more room to the upside, and I will add on to these puts. I will add on to shorter expiration dates if and when price gets up to these points. Close the gap, back test the wedge. You see we're rejecting now, but again, we have structure here. So we could easily form a wave 4 and then gap up tomorrow. This is what the targets may look like. Again, this is conservative, that we make it all the way back up to the 786. Not sure about that one, but the 495 would be right here for the next one. So we'll see which area this gets up to. It doesn't have to close the gap. And so conservatively, 470 to the downside for wave 3. And it's not going to be pretty. Pretty relentless move there. That's how pretty. Okay, we have, again, if we break out from this, maybe we'll see. And it looks like it could. It does look like also that this is an A, B, C correction and breakdown. So this could go either way. Not sure how this is going to play out. SMH. So we added on to NVIDIA today. I think this is the weakest here, 1, 2. And I was suspecting that we go up to the 250 area. Again, we don't have to go there. So we'll see. Let's look at this in the daily since we missed that. On the daily, we're fighting with that 100 moving average and the 8 EMA. So if we get up, you see right where the 20 moving average is. I think that's a very possible situation if the market wants to go up just a little bit higher, perhaps in the FOMC. So again, we're prepared for those moves to the upside, and then we'll remove those hedges and take profit on those and add those into puts. And I think that's just about right. Let's just do the VIX real quick and in this. right at 10 minutes. So we have the breakout, back test, and forming more structure. 1, 2 setup, and perhaps we get, so we just closed the gap, so we're getting a reaction off of that. Maybe we just need a little bit more market structure. I don't know if we make it to the options expected move or not, but it does not have to go any further. Okay, we close this gap, but this is the breakout area. All right, that's why I suspect that this move, at least the VIX, maybe the market wants to go a little bit higher and the VIX goes higher with it. Sometimes that happens, and that's not a good sign. So this would be a good spot. We'll probably take a UVIX call on this since we're right at the support here. I don't think the VIX is going any lower, even if the price does go higher in the market. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do that. You guys, I'll send that out in just a second. Have a wonderful day. Happy trading.